Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. First call, Mike Tomlin addresses state of Steelers RBs, Steelers players sound off on NFL schedule expansion talk. In Monday's first call, Mike Tomlin addresses the Pittsburgh Steelers running back room without Najee Harris. We have some banter between former Steelers teammates regarding potential NFL schedule expansion. An ex-Steeler provides a sparkling highlight in the UFL's first week. And the NCAA's Frozen Four will have a substantial Western Pennsylvania influence. Tomlin talks. While most of the attention surrounding Mike Tomlin's comments from the annual league meetings in Florida were centered around his team's murky quarterback situation, the Steelers' head coach also added some insight on the state of the running back position. The organization lost starting RB Najee Harris in free agency to the Los Angeles Chargers. That leaves Jaylen Warren and new free agent signee Kenneth Gainwell atop the depth chart. "I'm very confident in Jaylen Warren," Tomlin said when asked if Warren could expand his role. "As far as Gainwell goes," Tomlin said, "we value routine things like winning in a flat, whether you're a ball carrier or a ball catcher or a tackler. So that's a skill set that really stood out to us. But he's got a well-rounded game. He's a capable and willing special teams player. Plays a lot on possession down ball. Excited about the acquisition of Kenny Gainwell." Tomlin added that Gainwell could be a kick return candidate as well. There is also the prospect of the Steelers using an early draft pick on a running back. Tomlin referred to the talent at that position in this year's draft as uniquely deep. Balaj Baraj, meanwhile, a former Steeler running back, just opened the UFL season with a bang. Kalen Balaj of the Arlington Renegades ran 77 yards for a touchdown against the San Antonio Brahmas in a Week 1 game Saturday. That's the longest TD run in the two-year history of the league. The Renegades ended up winning 33-9. Balaj finished the game with 110 yards on 9 carries. He also had one catch for 9 yards. Balaj had 36 yards on 12 carries during the 2021 season in Pittsburgh. He also spent time with the Jets, Dolphins and Chargers during his NFL playing days. 2020 vision. It feels like an expansion of the NFL schedule to 18 games is just a matter of time. However, former Steeler Braden Fehoko says the league should blow by 18 games and go right to 20. Scratch all 3 preseason games. Go to 20 regular season games. 2 mandatory bye weeks, Fehoko said on social media. Go from 53 to 60 active roster spots. Scratch OTAs and mandatory mini and have players report mid-July to do a 2 to 3 week workout ramp up. August training camp joint practices. September kickoff. Steelers linebacker Patrick Queen, Fehoko's former teammate, vehemently disagreed. Fehoko offered a counterpoint. "As much as I like Fehoko, I'm siding with Queen on this one. I'd rather see the NFL go back to 16 games before they increase to 18, let alone 20. The attrition rate is too high. You'll see too many good teams lose good players to injury late in the season. You'll have too many clubs qualify for the playoffs with a roster that doesn't resemble the ones they had when they clinched a spot. That's just speaking generically. For quarterback injury risk specifically, adding 2 more games is too substantial." Steelers March Madness 2025, Final Four. At the beginning of the month, we started with the 64 greatest front office moves in Pittsburgh Steelers history. If you want to revisit the journey, go back to round 1, day 1, day 2, day 3 and day 4. Now, only the final 4 remain. All 4 are members of the Hall of Honor. 3 are enshrined in Canton. It's time for you to vote on which front office move was superior. In one of the most lopsided transactions in NFL history, Pittsburgh moved down 13 spots from pick 59 to 72 and added a future third-rounder in exchange for Jerome Bettis. The Rams were transitioning to a pass-oriented offense and drafted Nebraska's Lawrence Phillips. St. Louis gave Bettis the option to pick his destination, and he almost considered Houston. Writers in Pittsburgh didn't love the trade initially, because Bettis had a pair of down seasons and his contract was up at the end of the year. But they changed their tune after the Bus won Comeback Player of the Year and became the highest-paid player in Steelers history at that point. Green came to Pittsburgh in free agency because of defensive coordinator Dom Capers' 3-4 system. He didn't come cheap. He was the highest-paid Steelers defender ever at the time. Green was only in Pittsburgh for 3 seasons, but in those 48 games, he earned 35.5 sacks, 2 Pro Bowls, and an All-Pro season in 1994. He played in 2 AFC Championship games for Pittsburgh and 1 Super Bowl. Pittsburgh was almost not in the market for a safety in 2003. The Steelers had a verbal agreement with Dexter Jackson, the reigning Super Bowl MVP, but he would end up signing with Arizona. Polamalu was the top-ranked safety in the draft. When San Diego traded down at pick 15 instead of addressing the safety position, Pittsburgh traded up from 27 to 16 with the Chiefs. The Steelers traded away the 92nd and 200th overall picks. Steelers' Mike Tomlin acknowledges really good meeting with Aaron Rodgers, puts no time frame on QB decision. Mike Tomlin doesn't like to discuss players not already under contract to the Pittsburgh Steelers. He made an exception Sunday because of the public nature of his team's pursuit of quarterback Aaron Rodgers. The Steelers head coach admitted to meeting with Rodgers on March 21 at UPMC Rooney Sports Complex. But at that gathering, Tomlin said no deadline was given regarding when the Steelers expected an answer from the 41-year-old passer and 4-time NFL MVP. "I didn't give him a deadline," Tomlin said Sunday from the NFL annual meetings at the Breakers Resort Hotel. "I wanted to know him better, things that he values as a player and as a man and what he might be looking for with his next step." Tomlin called the meeting, which lasted for approximately 6 hours, a really good day. "He and I have known of each other for some time," Tomlin said. "It was really good to spend time together and get to know each other more intimately. It is free agency. It is a process. I have nothing of significance to add other than that." 3 weeks into free agency and with the NFL draft approaching in less than a month, the Steelers are no closer to solving their quarterback conundrum than at the end of the 2024 season. Justin Fields signed with the New York Jets at the outset of free agency, and Russell Wilson joined the New York Giants last week when the Steelers showed virtually no interest in retaining him. Aside from bringing back Mason Rudolph after a 1-year stint in Tennessee, the Steelers have done nothing to fortify the game's most important position. The only other quarterback on the 90-man offseason roster is reserve/future signee Skylar Thompson. "We all would like to have settled circumstances, but this is a process," Tomlin said. "The acquisition of talent, whether it's at quarterback or any other position, we spend the bulk of our spring and off-season putting a roster together." Tomlin doesn't think it is imperative to have all quarterbacks under contract at this juncture of the off-season calendar or even by organized team activities in May or minicamp in June. "Training camp would be the line of demarcation in terms of that discussion," he said. "The spring is about teaching and learning." If Rodgers balks at signing with the Steelers, his rejection wouldn't necessarily lead the organization to pursue one of the few veterans still on the market such as Joe Flacco. "I don't know that we necessarily feel that way," Tomlin said. "We're looking at all the people that are available to us. That includes the draft class, which experts believe is lacking in top-tier talent." Tomlin spent the past week on the pro day circuit, nothing that recent visits to Notre Dame, Riley Leonard, Ohio State, Will Howard, and Texas, Quinn Ewers, were done with draft-eligible passers in mind. Tomlin already dined with Alabama's Jalen Milroe ahead of the Crimson Tide quarterback's pro day. And you fan? What do you think about Aaron Rodgers' situation? Write to us in the comments.